The first time I heard the scream, I thought it was an animal. By the third scream, I realized animals don't beg for help. That's when I saw the fence, and I finally understood why no one ever crossed it. I grew up in a quiet town surrounded by dense woods. Everyone knew about the fence. It stretched for miles, cutting through the trees like a scar. Every kid was told the same thing: don't cross it. No one ever explained why. It was just a rule older than the town itself. I used to think it was some old superstition, something adults made up to keep us out of the woods. But people took it seriously. The stories were whispered, never told in full. Hunters who vanished, cows found mutilated, strange lights on foggy nights. Everyone had a cousin who'd seen something, but no one ever proved it. When I turned 17, I stopped believing the warnings. The fence wasn't even that high, just old wooden posts strung with rusted wire. One summer night, walking home from a friend's bonfire, I decided to take the path beside it. It was shorter, and that decision ruined my life. The moon was bright enough to see the ground, but everything else was shadows. The air smelled like wet soil and pine. My sneakers crunched on gravel, the sound echoing too loud in the stillness. I remember feeling watched, though the woods were silent. That's when I smelled it. Thick, metallic, and unmistakable. Blood, not the faint smell from a dead animal. This was heavy, rotten, layered with decay. It made my stomach twist. I told myself it was roadkill, maybe a deer, but the air felt wrong. I turned my head toward the fence. On the other side, the ground was torn up, like something had dug through it with enormous claws. Broken branches, ripped bark, dark stains everywhere. My heart started hammering. Then I saw it eyes. Two glowing yellow eyes watching me from the darkness. I froze. The thing stepped forward, slow and deliberate. It wasn't human. Too tall, too long. Its limbs stretched like rope, its fur matted with dirt and blood. The face, God, that face looked like a skull covered in skin that didn't fit. Its jaw twitched like it was trying to form words. I ran. The sound of my footsteps drowned in my heartbeat. The creature didn't chase loudly. It moved almost silently, except for the wet sound of mud under its feet. Every few seconds, I heard a low growl, deep, guttural, like thunder trapped in a chest. Branches tore at my arms. My lungs burned. I knew I shouldn't have been there. The fence wasn't a warning, it was a border. Something built to keep that thing contained, and I had crossed too close. I tried to reach the main road, but the forest twisted around me. Paths I knew all my life suddenly looked wrong. Trees leaned where they shouldn't. The air felt thicker, heavier. I could swear I heard my name whispered, soft and mocking, from behind me. Then came laughter, not from the creature, but from voices I knew. My friends from earlier that night. Their laughs echoed through the woods, identical but hollow. That's when I realized it was mimicking them. It was playing with me. I tripped over a root, fell hard into the mud. My flashlight flickered and went out. I lay there, gasping, and heard the creature's slow footsteps stop right behind me. I didn't move. My breath came shallow and fast. The smell of blood was suffocating. It crouched. I could hear its joints pop, bones grinding. Something cold brushed the back of my neck, like a claw tracing my skin. Then it spoke. My own voice whispered in my ear, "Why did you cross?" I bolted. I don't remember getting up, but I was running again, blind through the trees. My vision blurred with tears and sweat. I saw flashes of light, not moonlight, but faint red glows between the trunks. The forest itself seemed alive, pulsing, breathing with me. At one point, I thought I'd lost it. I stopped, bent over, clutching my knees, trying to breathe. That's when I heard the sound, a slow dragging, like something heavy, being pulled across the ground. It was closer now. I hid under a fallen tree, pressing myself into the damp soil. My whole body shook. I bit my lip to stop breathing too loudly. The footsteps stopped, inches away. The air went still. Then, Slowly, it bent down. I could see it through the cracks. Its pale skull face tilted sideways, staring right where I hid. It didn't blink. Its mouth opened just slightly, enough for a whisper to slip out. "I see you." I wanted to scream, but my throat locked. I closed my eyes and prayed. The silence stretched forever. Then, suddenly, a loud snap, a branch breaking somewhere behind it. The creature turned, distracted. I took my chance. I crawled out, scraping my hands bloody on the bark. I didn't care. I ran toward the faint outline of the fence. I could see it through the trees, glowing faintly in the moonlight. My only hope. But the thing was fast, faster than anything that big should be. I heard it move, felt the vibration in the ground. It wasn't chasing randomly. It was hurting me, driving me where it wanted. When I reached the fence, I almost collapsed. I could feel it right behind me, the air humming with its presence. I didn't look back. I grabbed the top wire, ignoring the barbs tearing my palms, and climbed. Halfway over, I felt it grab my ankle. Cold fingers, like bone wrapped in wet leather. I kicked and screamed, tearing free. The barbed wire ripped my jeans and skin, but I didn't stop until I hit the ground on the other side. I turned, gasping. The creature stood there, inches from the fence. It didn't cross. It just watched. Its eyes glowed brighter, furious, but it didn't move forward. It paced, clawing at the earth, howling a sound that made my bones vibrate. Then, as if a wall of wind pushed it back, it stepped away and melted into the trees. I lay there, shaking, bleeding, unable to move. The night went silent again. Too silent. Not even crickets. Just my heartbeat and the faint hum in my ears. When I finally got home, I locked every door and window. I sat in the dark until sunrise, shaking. I didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me? The next morning, I walked back to the fence in daylight. The claw marks were there, deep, fresh, real. For weeks, I had nightmares. Sometimes I'd wake up to tapping at my window, soft and slow. Other times, I'd hear my name whispered from the woods behind the house. Always the same voice. Mine. The townsfolk still warn every kid, don't cross the fence. Now, I understand. It isn't about superstition, it's survival. The fence keeps us safe, keeps it contained. But sometimes, on quiet nights, I hear that voice again, low, calm, patient. You crossed once. You'll cross again. And every time the wind shifts, I smell that same metallic air, like blood and decay. Maybe one day, the fence will break. The posts are rotting, the wire rusting. Maybe the thing behind it is waiting for that moment. Maybe it already knows I'm the reason it's angry. If this story kept you awake tonight, remember, some lines are drawn for a reason. Don't cross them, ever, because some fences don't keep things out. They keep things in. And if you ever hear your own voice calling from the woods, don't answer. Just run, whispered cinematic tone. If this story still echoes in your mind, there are darker ones waiting. Subscribe and keep the light on.